Hello, everyone. My name is Jorrel Tomas, joined, as always, by my co-founder, Mr. Timothy Karamat. And this is the eighth episode. Yes, eighth episode of the Mintplexity podcast, which is, of course, the podcast that is associated with our company, Mintplex.
Is this our Christmas special?
Christmas special?
Sure. Yeah, this could be our Christmas special. Nothing special about it, actually, but...
No. Don't we have another one next week? We're still doing another one next week. We can make number 9.
Okay, never mind. The Christmas special is coming then.
I mean, hey, if Binance goes down by next week, hey, that's definitely a special time. It's
Jesus Christ.
Jim Cramer Christmas at that point.
He's never wrong about anything, right?
No. He's never right about everything. That's why you trade on the inverse, which is like up like 300% at this point. Anyone who bets against Cramer is rich, which is great.
Free money hack. It literally is the free money hack.
It's like 10 life hacks to change your financial situation. Number 1, bet against Jim Cramer. Number 2, buy Twitter a year ago and have the $44 billion exit. Amazing. God. We'll save those jokes as we get into the topics for today. But today we're gonna cover some new stuff. We got a lot of the FTX saga is starting to come to a halt. Mr.
Man's
SPF
is arrested.
Got caught. They caught him in Bahamas, dude. As if everyone didn't know where he was, because he was posting his public location on Twitter every day, recording from the same studio every single day. And so with that, eyes go on Binance now, so we're going to talk a little bit. Eyes are
on Binance.
There's been a lot of rumors going around, and actually you're the one who told me the rumors. And then I looked at it and then, had a conversation yesterday that, validated, some of the Binance rumors as well. And then we're going to go into talking about AI and the parallels we're seeing with the crypto market about a year and a half ago. Because mind you, Tim and I, we started working on Ramp, formerly known as Ramp.
When it was Ramp,
literally at just before the intense NFT craze. I remember it was you were doing the deteriorating NFTs in the summer, and people were still experimenting with it. Whoa, this NFT stuff, it's gonna change everything. Oh my gosh, it's gonna save all the artists. Oh my gosh, it's gonna cure climate change. It's gonna revive Jesus Christ. It's oh my gosh, all right, calm down. It's just NFTs. This is just And so there's a lot of similarities we're seeing now with ChatGPT, all that stuff. And I think it's really important we kind of clear the air here where things are going. And I mean, we have our own little budding AI business company thing that we're throwing out there. So we're kind of
it's like a side project, put it together in a weekend. It's not even
And that just goes to show just how easy it is to make something in AI business.
It was a curiosity project, just taking a mental health break from crypto for a weekend,
I think
that was.
It was it was a wellness check rather, because if you really need a mental health break, Tim, you need to delete Twitter. You need to delete a Mintplex. You need to delete you need to delete Coinbase, Kraken, everything from your account, and then go into hiding for a year. That's how you take a mental health break from crypto, because there's no way to avoid it, right? And even if you tried to avoid it, going to LATAM or Southeast Asia, they use crypto there, so there's really no escape at this point. You just have to hunker down somewhere. And but lastly, speaking of crypto, we also want to talk a little bit about the SEC, the SEC stuff. SEC is cracking down a lot of things, and just in the same way, once again, we're seeing cycles, guys. We're seeing cycles come in. We want to warn you. I mean, we talked about staking last episode, and we want to warn you again, except with some more tangible SEC examples. So y'all can,
the worst that happens if we are wrong is that you just didn't stake in ERC20. That's the worst that happens. The alternative is that we are right and you go to jail. So
it's kind of a weird. It's like
risk
jail?
assessment to be done. Yeah.
Jail or or you made like some money. It's like,
yeah. Or you left maybe what, $3,000 on the table? Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know if a lifetime in jail is worth $3,000, guys.
Yeah.
Because it's not a fine that you're gonna see. You're gonna
felony.
get somebody knocking on the door. The feds showing
You're
up.
You're gonna hear some windbreakers rustling outside your door, and then that's
like the SWAT team meme. They're like, "Hey, open up, open up!" It's like, dude, I just traded $100. What are you doing? What are you doing? Anyways, yeah. So with that's what we're gonna be covering in this episode. So let's kick things off, Tim. Let's talk about finance. What's going on? What the hell is going on?
So the Binance FUD, which it is, at this point, it is rumors. It's rumors. That's all it is. Nobody knows anything for sure, except, of course, the people who work at Binance. But the kind of I guess macro picture of this is a lot of people are suspect because of what Binance essentially implicitly did with FTX, where they essentially pointed out hey, nothing is backed and you've pretty much just been borrowing from yourself the entire time. Mm-hmm. And none of that's real. Pointed that out, collapsed the entire company. And now SBF is in handcuffs and probably going to get extradited to the US to be probably made an example of by the Senate committee. So what does this mean for Binance? Well, Binance is now the pretty much only international large player out there. And if you are outside of the US, you're using Binance. I actually don't know who else you could use. I know there's OKCoin and some other kind of odd end, but nobody has the market share that Binance has.
Yeah, so, I mean, before it was FTX.
Yeah, before it was FTX. Yeah. And so now Binance is the only player out there, or at least the only major player. And Binance has been chugging along, people have always trusted CZ and everything he has to say, which is always alarming when the company kind of stands on top of the founder's shoulders and it's not the founder is standing on top of the company, right? Because that I think always winds up being a cult of personality thing, right? Just like SBF and FTX or Elon Musk and any of the other 5 companies he's concurrently CEO of or whatever, all of those are built on their cult of personality. And that could be trouble, but that's not even the actual real point. Is that people are starting to point out that it's oh, their audit isn't a real audit, blah, blah, blah. Some people tried to do a bank run. I think it was $7 million. Nothing really happened. Is it real? Is it not? Nobody knows. But if we look historically, when shit like this happens, it is always followed up historically by some bad shit. And if we just played the theoretical game of if Binance collapsed, what happens? What happens if Binance collapses?
I said this yesterday with one of our investors. It won't be a crypto winter anymore. It will be a crypto ice age.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunately true.
And once again, right, the arrogance I think of those in the space, building on the space, was oh, we are not like the others. We are not like the banks. We don't need all this other stuff
Celsius.
Yeah, Celsius is a great example. And that's the thing is once you discard the wisdom of the old financial system in preference for an unregulated wild, wild west. Well, guess what?
Black box.
Yeah, the black box. Guess what? You get the same problems without the safety net.
Yeah.
And the safety net in the US is the Fed will print a shit ton of money and bail you out. So what happens when the exchange goes down?
And sometimes it's deeper than that, though, right? Didn't we have someone that we know that runs another kind of NFT organization, right? They were using FTX and they now have to cease operations because they were putting money in an account that was also managed by FTX that they just, I guess it was implied it was FDIC insured. But when FTX collapsed, all of the assets have been frozen. They cannot get their money out. So they have no operating runway anymore.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Is there was a lot of sketchy things that FTX did, and FTX having a traditional bank services was also one of those sketchy things, but nobody really thought, nobody really gave an eye bat, or like they didn't even bat an eye when they were like, oh, of course, because FTX such a great investment. And once again, traditional banks, there's ways to exploit the system where like if you can over leverage shit. Like that's how it be, right? But you dox a bunch of things. Like there are people you can implicate when those things happen. In this case, FTX, like majority of like everything that exists within that exchange is international. It's worldwide. How do you get all the whales that had all their money around here and are pulling out?
Yeah,
you can't. It's like, you don't know who they are. All you had was a deposit account and a withdrawal account. That's pretty much it.
And so what happens with Binance? That's what I'm saying. So like what happens with Binance? Like God, if that was FTX's footprint, Binance has been around much longer. So you could imagine their footprint is, I mean, the word contagion doesn't even come close to what would happen if something were to happen with Binance.
Binance is the de facto exchange for basically the regions that we talked about in the last episode. Like LATAM uses Binance and Southeast Asia uses Binance. All the Singaporean Chinese investors all use Binance in order to move money around. So I don't want to FUD, guys. I don't want to FUD. Anyone who's watching this, I don't want to FUD. But if I were to FUD, we're kind of fucked if any of that happens. And
if any of it happens.
And the thing is, people still don't remember that CZ isn't the most trustworthy. He isn't the most trustworthy founder.
I wouldn't
out
trust
there.
anyone. I wouldn't trust. I mean, at this point, it's like if someone's running an exchange, unless that exchange is regulated in the US, I just straight up can't trust it. Like at this point, which I know is like, obviously being in the US, we have the privilege to be able to use these US regulated exchanges, but like, it's just, I don't know. It's really unfortunate because I think that like crypto in general, like the whole technology benefits massively from an agreed trust, but it just seems that over and over again, like people are trusting these essentially like egomaniacs, with everything. And if it was in the right hands, everything would be fine. But the problem is that there's just too many bad actors out there, And so we need to begin isolating those people out of the ecosystem. And the one way to do that easily is with legislation, as boring of an answer as that is, and as painful of an answer as that is. It's actually the easiest way to at least ensure that these people remain accountable. So.
And once again, right, like accountability, it's a very rare resource in crypto. A lot of people tend to not want to be accountable for a lot of things. It's
also funny because the level of trust in crypto is inherently zero. Whereas like you might meet someone on the street and you have like a baseline level of trust, depending on 10,000 factors. There is zero in crypto. In fact, actually, I think one of our earliest Reddit comments about what we were called RAMP at the time was somebody that thought we were a scam just simply because our product did exactly what it said it would. And the comment is still up there. And it literally is like, is RAMP a scam? It looks like a scam because blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't even know what their reasoning is there's no actual good reasoning there. They're just like, I haven't heard of it, therefore must be scam. And it's like, that's the level of trust that you get dealt with in crypto. And so it's like, I mean, we've established our trust by just building a good product and, and we don't say bullshit, we actually deliver on the promises that we make. And I think like that to me is just like, it's actually kind of sad, like that is the bar. The bar is that low. Right.
Yeah. I mean, and we're seeing that right now, right? Like the bar is still not really moving. Because the bar, even though like we're saying, hey, like we should raise the bar, guys, we should, we should have some expectations, right? Dox yourselves or something like before you launch a project. People still fall for the same stuff constantly.
Yeah.
Like they still don't want to reveal who they are. They're still getting a lot of people who want to pump. And it just seems like a lot of the cyclical kind of issues. On the side over here, Tim, I just looked up CZ real quick, just so I was like, all right, I was like, I know there's some stuff he's been involved in. He was CTO at OKCoin.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. I feel like an idiot.
Yeah, so he was CTO at OKCoin. So that's one of the. If y'all aren't familiar, OKCoin is one of the other cryptocurrency exchanges. Take that as you will, but there's a multitude of things is, or at least the issue I would say in regards to having your same people cycle through all of the,
it's all the same people. Yeah.
It's like FANG, right? It's like if these FANG companies have all of the same issues, right? It's probably because they're all exchanging all the same engineers. Right?
Yeah.
And the folly of that of that cycle is a problem. And here's another thing. And once again, I do want to say, not trying to FUD too much here, but I looked up CZ like a year ago, 2 years ago. But another thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way was CZ has claimed that he's going to donate 99% of his wealth.
Uh-oh. Where have we heard that before?
Any person who claims to say that I'm going to be this philanthropist or all that stuff always has something sketchy. Always, every single time. It's like I was like trying to remember like what kind of made me a little like iffy about the guy, and that was the thing. And also, this was a year ago. The reason I remember this clearly is I used to just like shit on Binance all the time. Mind you, we support Binance, guys. So, okay, we're not like, I'm not trying to attack it or anything. But last year, before I really got into the NFT side of things, I was like very, very critical about like a lot of ICOs and a lot of like the other protocols out there. And my biggest critique was that Binance didn't even want to launch a Singapore-based crypto exchange. Because
Why?
Binance was I think Binance had they weren't allowed in Singapore for a sec. And so they wanted to launch a Singapore-based crypto exchange in 2021. And I was just like, that's such a weird move. It's like, you have all this stuff and then it's like, oh, Singapore? Like, oh, you withdrew your application. Like, oh, is it because, like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean that like you didn't want to run your exchange in Singapore anymore? You didn't want to move your operation to Singapore. It's like, I don't know. Just like stuff
did they
like
have
that.
like some compliance check that they wouldn't have been allowed to, that they wouldn't have passed or something like that? Because they have a US operation, Binance US.
Binance
it's
US.
It's like 10% of the capability of what actual Binance can do.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like, you have to really think like what is compliance, right? If the exchange itself, if they had to launch a separate exchange in the US that hits certain, regulations, right? That certain things have to be compliant. And then in the same way, Singapore is like one of the most free, like a lot of people like launching companies in Singapore because of how free and low tax and, very gung-ho entrepreneurial that Singapore is. That's one of the reasons it's like one of the biggest economic capitals in the world. But the fact that like they withdrew an application, like I said, last year, I don't know how the things are now. They could possibly still be doing fine. But like for me, my issue with that is like something isn't compliant. What isn't compliant? Right?
Yeah.
What did they not qualify in the US for? What was it that wasn't compliant that they could run their exchange in the US? That wasn't Binance.us. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that it rubs me the wrong way that there are certain things that these exchanges aren't passing in terms of regulatory restrictions. Kraken and Coinbase are the only two exchanges in the US that are fully and functionally compliant.
Yeah.
So it's like, think about like, that's all I want to, that's my last 2 cents about like this whole thing. I don't want to FUD. I don't want to like cause anyone to be like, oh my gosh, these guys hate this thing. Once again, we support it, but I'm just saying like compliance wise, things are a little iffy. It's a little odd. And it's been that way for the last like 4 or 5 years. It's just,
it's fair. It's fair.
All right. Don't come after me when you see this in the pod. I'm just saying, a little scary. Also, don't at me. Please do not at me. Otherwise, CZ will comment on this. He'll just be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
I don't know. I mean, honestly, if he has the time to do it, congrats. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. That's it for Binance FUD, or what the rumors were, or anything about Binance. We're done talking about Binance now. So there was one thing that, like, I think this is something that I personally have. Like, this is my personal crusade, and it has to do with like the whole new like Chat GPT AI, like Chat GPT 3 and eventually Chat GPT 4. Now I know what you're thinking, like how is that related to Mintplex? We are not an AI company. We're not going to be an AI company. We're not doing anything AI related, but there actually is a odd parallel to crypto here. And I know what you're thinking, like how that, are we going to do that typical crypto bro thing where like everything gets drawn back to like, oh, blockchain fixes it? Like, no. Okay. This is just an observation, and I believe it to be true. And if someone can prove me wrong, please do. So when it comes to something like Chat GPT or GPT-3, right? I think there are, and as you've seen, a ton of, well, I say a ton, maybe a handful, Lenza being one, right? Like they're using, I think, are they using Stable Diffusion? I forget. They're running Lenza? It on their own hardware. Yeah, Lenza, the phone app that everyone's been making AI avatars with.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they just used, because Stable Diffusion is an open, by the way, y'all didn't know, Stable Diffusion is open source. You can run the open source version on your computer as long as you have a strong enough GPU to run it.
I think that's what Lenza did, is they actually went to the hardware level, bought their own hardware and run it on their own hardware. They're either using Dream Booth or Stable Diffusion or one of the two. I forget. But there are two other people that are popular on Twitter that also build AI avatar generators. Across the board, these people have made probably over 100K definitely over 100K in the last 3 months. And Lenza has probably made a lot more money because they built it on a phone app. They got Apple's distribution network. And so they got some more money from there. The one thing that I think is important to note about every single one of these companies is it takes probably about 24 hours for a competent engineer to copy that exact product. And the reason for that is because every single one of these people, every single one of these companies are all building on the exact same tech stack. And their only unique advantage is the kind of images that they're training with, which they are probably getting from somewhere that is open on the internet. Could be Tumblr, could be DeviantArt, could be whatever. Doesn't matter. Instagram. All their data set, Instagram. Yeah. All their data sets can be derived. And also you could just train on their output too, if you wanted output that looked more like a competitor's. So why is that something that's like important to know? Is because essentially what I'm saying is that every AI company building on OpenAI, GPT-3, Stable Diffusion, Dream Booth, whatever, all of them actually have the same problem that crypto companies had or still have actually when they start, which is by thinking that this open source piece of software is actually a moat. Like for your business, it's not defendable. Like if our whole business was making smart contracts, we would have no defensibility in our entire business model. Like, why would you pay for Pro when you can just copy paste it and deploy it yourself? Why would I pay somebody else for some model that I can spin up on Hugging Face, someone made a fork of, and spin it up on Hugging Face and just run my script on Hugging Face for free? You know, like it just like that is, I think, going to be a unique problem that parallels crypto. It's like you're building on open source. So your problem is that you need to provide a very strong, unique value beyond that, or use a data set that is entirely proprietary that nobody else can train on. That's the only way to build a defendable AI company. It's the same thing with crypto. If your whole business is built on smart contracts, you can't do anything defendable because it's easy for me to look at Sushi Swaps or SudoSwap or something like that and just fork their contract and run my own version. You know, that's just what we call a protocol. They are calling a model. Those are the two words.
Wait, Tim. Are you telling me that all marketplaces in the crypto space, like the NFT market, they're all forked from the same place, like OpenSea? Like, are you implying, Tim, that that every single marketplace that's been created in the NFT space is just a fork of OpenSea's marketplace contracts? Is that what you're implying?
I mean, it's a little bit more nuanced than that because everyone likes to add their own little, their own little seasoning to it. But it all does the same exact thing. And if you really like what they're doing, go to Etherscan and copy the source code and deploy your own version of it. It's that simple. There's never anything proprietary about it. You have to provide value beyond the protocol, something that is proprietary.
So are you telling me as well, Tim, that like when OpenSea kind of got its volume last year and it was making like $35 million a day or something?
Yeah.
And then a year later,
crazy
99% of the volume just dropped was due to the fact there was just no moat?
Yeah, I mean, well, think about it. How many, like when OpenSea really, really started running up numbers, right? I can't think of another competitive exchange. And then LooksRare came around and that really started to disrupt things. And then Magic Eden started to catch up and they implemented Etherscan, right? I mean, not Etherscan, sorry, Ethereum and Polygon. And like that was a big upset. And now, I mean, shit, you can launch your own marketplace through Mintplex now. Like that's how commoditized a marketplace contract has become.
Thank you, Reservoir. You guys are the best.
Yeah, thank you, Reservoir. Reservoir.tools. Shout out. Bless you. Open source, by the way. Reservoir. Yeah, Reservoir.tools is open source, by the way. So we launched that as a service. We just pay, basically, we pay for the hosting for people to launch their marketplace because they don't want to deal with the code. But like you could deploy your own Reservoir marketplace. You could if you wanted to. We just handle that part for you. And we have our own fork to support our own special little functions. Like that's just how it works. If it's all derivative of open source projects. And like, what's the defensibility there? You need to provide a unique service or a unique add-on, right? That differentiates you. And like that right there is, I think, something, because right now it's easy to look at these AI avatar companies and be like, wow, 100K in 3 months. Take my money. Okay. Like that's easy to say right now. But I think you'll find in 6 months from now, you're going to have 4,000 AI avatar generating companies. And the only people making money are OpenAI and people that sell GPUs on clouds. Like they are selling shovels in a gold rush. Those people are going to make money. The people making the avatar, they'll probably make a good bit of money, but it'll never be as good as the kind of like, the heyday of it.
So are you implying, Tim, that this AI boom is just like a glorified it's called hype cycle, like
it's gonna
NFTs were about a year ago? I'm telling you, all technology is overestimated in the short term and underestimated in the long term, and because of that definitely means that the AI hype cycle that we're going through right now is going to have a eerily similar trajectory to the NFT hype cycle. There's going to be some company that comes out, could be OpenAI, could be somebody else that built some application layer on top of OpenAI. And they're going to do the OpenSea thing where they're going to build an awesome product that the marketplace, like that the market definitely demands and needs. And it'll go great for a while, but then they won't actually kind of like fork off of that and build something that's actually proprietary and truly theirs and isn't just all based on something that anybody can derive. And if they don't do that, well, then they go 99% down. Like, I think the same companies that we saw raising crypto, doing rounds for crypto companies that were doing like 100 mil on a product that makes $3.75 a month. Like that's like, I think we're going to see a similar thing with AI, except the problem now with AI is that you're going to be paying tens of thousands of dollars in cloud service costs because GPUs are so damn expensive. Whereas when we run code on the blockchain, you just pay, the user pays the gas and that's it. Like, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I could be dead wrong. I'd be happy to be wrong. All those crypto mining machines, they have a lot of GPUs.
They do, actually. I wonder if that market's going to rebound. Is it actually just NVIDIA in the background just driving these markets? Just like okay, crypto mining starting to like wane off. Ethereum switched from proof of work to proof of stake. We got to keep selling GPUs to hit our quarterly numbers. Okay, let's switch to AI. Everything AI needs GPUs. And so maybe it's NVIDIA. That's the tinfoil hat response, is that NVIDIA is actually pulling strings.
Hey man, you don't got to look further than Pelosi for the chips.
Oh my God.
Right? It's all connected, Tim. It's all connected. All right. It's not a conspiracy, Tim. It's not a conspiracy. That's the reason we both run the Congress Stock Watcher and Mintplex. No, just kidding.
Oh God, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how that shakes out. But that is my personal crusade. My personal crusade is that I wouldn't want to be a founder who started a crypto company and pivoted to AI, because you traded businesses but kept the same problems.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Man, Tim, you've grown so much as a founder. I wonder what you went through this year that could have just just changed your mind on these types of things. Yeah. Shout out YC. Thank you, YC. Yeah. If it wasn't for you, we would definitely not be having these interesting philosophical thoughts.
And for the pain and the insights and everything. It's been a very foundational experience.
It's been a very foundational year. And a very foundational year in general. But I will say one thing. I have been in data for 7 years now. And so all the way when I started college, I was I've been involved in like data science and all that type of things. And the only thing I can say that AI, like the super exciting stuff that's like happening with like generative AI, ChatGPT stuff, and people on TikTok were shitting on me for this. But I'm like, but once again, I am a professional in this space. Okay. I have built models before. I have run training sets. I have built all those things using proprietary data sets. Go to Kaggle.com. Just go to Kaggle.com if you want to see all the stuff that people like myself have been working on for the last 6-7 years, right?
Yeah.
AI is just as faulty as human beings are because we feed AI with human error all the freaking time. Do you know how bad some of my models used to be? Like when we're training models, we accept an 85% confidence on predictability.
Good enough.
And there's a tendency to overfit. Overfitting data just means you're training this model to be really good at predicting the test set. That's it. So that's the strong tendency for these things. And NLP is great. Like you diversify a lot of things, but at the end of the day, natural language processing is only good at interpreting what you're saying and spitting back out a response. That's it.
That's statistically probable. Yeah, statistically probable response.
So once again, in the same vein, like there are two different things happening in the background. One is it's ingesting what you're saying, like as you're typing, like, oh, hello, ChatGPT. What is the square root of 69? Right? Like the Drake lyric, right?
Yeah.
It literally responds, I do not have enough information to respond to this. And then if you say, what is the square root of 69 on based on Drake's lyric? And then it'll be like, well, it's 8 something. It'll just like actually give you the right. But the response you want from the AI is 8 something,
Yeah.
That's what
but not the lyric.
But not the lyric, right? And so once again,
it's the same thing though. We're talking about models and like trusting the output of AI models. The exact parallel to crypto is that whole code is law idea, where it's like, yes, I guess you could say code is law, but if the code is written by somebody who is just forgot something or left a vulnerability or whatever, like that is still a problem. Just because the model gives you an answer doesn't make it true. And just because it's written in the code doesn't mean that there isn't something that you don't know that's going to happen. And that's how we wind up with these people with these DeFi protocols getting liquidated for, hundreds of millions of dollars. It's the same thing. It's the same problem. It's the same problem set.
Yeah. Like it all comes down to the same fundamental problem that we've had in the internet and actually just in tech in general. Critical thinking, everybody. Critical thinking. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Just critically think. All right.
Some people that needed to critically think were those 8 people that just got charged by the SEC for that $100 million market manipulation scheme. It's coming to crypto next. I promise you. this time next year, there's going to be like 12 people who are all popular influencers right now. Your crypto fin people, that are like on TikTok being like, oh, you should buy this, shit ERC20 token that nobody's ever heard of. That's run by a team that nobody knows about. That's totally like, this person does not exist.com profile pics. We're going to see the SEC make moves in crypto soon because they just did it with these price manipulators. With just regular stocks, penny stocks, you can bet as SEC starts to chip away slowly at securitization of just crypto in general. They're just trying to build regulations around it. I mean, BitBoy, he should be sweating, honestly. Like, I think he's the person who should be sweating the most. But other people like them who just talk about ERC20 tokens, why you should buy them, pump the price, and then conveniently sell them. At a date where they are up. Doesn't matter what your intentions were. It's about what you did. And SEC does not care. So
the only time intentions matter is your life.
Gift giving.
Yeah.
In gift giving.
Intentions, it's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. In this case, it's what's going to be putting you in jail. And once again, if you're skeptical about all this, remember, in last year, in September of 2021, they finally arrested and implicated the BitConnect guys.
BitConnect.
If everybody's forgetting, I'll play like a little clip somewhere here. It's like BitConnect. What's up?
Love that guy.
Like that guy. What's up?
I love that guy.
Yeah, love him as a meme, but like. Him and his entire team are now arrested. And you can actually look it up. If you go to the Department of Justice, you type in BitConnect, it will say like they frauded everybody $1 billion and they're basically like in jail for like pretty much the rest of their lives. So
a long time. Yeah.
Mind you, it took them 4 years. That whole BitConnect stuff and the Bitcoin craze happened in 2017, 2018. It was a great year. Same type of cycles we talked about, right? And the SEC took their sweet time, everyone's like paranoid. And it's like, oh shit, like, are they going to come after us yet? Oh no, we're good. Okay. You just frauded billions of, dollars, whatever. And then boom, DOJ's like, haha, just kidding. You're arrested. Goodbye. And the funny thing is, no press. Didn't see any press about it. You're not going to get your glory.
Hardly made the news. Yeah.
So that's why we're saying like the financial crimes in the US are the crimes they prioritize. All right. You cannot make
mostly because you didn't pay your taxes. They want the government's going to get the cut. All right. That much is true. So
that's all I'm saying is like, if you don't believe me, look it up. Department of Justice, BitConnect. First result, billions of dollars. They're in trouble. Boom. All we're saying is that is why we're going to double down on not staking. We do not want any of our users. We don't want any of you to get in a situation that you were not expecting.
The thing is that literally all of this, none of this actually has to do with crypto or blockchain as a technology. Like none of this has anything to do with any of that. That's the most hilarious part is people think like, oh, this happens. Well, that's a problem with blockchain. It's not a problem with blockchain. It's a problem with how people have been using it because it is a technology. That's all it is. It's not that deep. I don't know how many times we have to say this. Like blockchain, crypto, all of that is a technology. It is not your NFTs. It is not your ApeCoin. It is not staking. Like it's none of that. It is a technology. It is totally ambivalent to any of those use cases. And like, I think the closer we get back to actually using crypto and blockchain as a technology and less as this kind of like, like market making tool or kind of like all of these other weird, in a word, gimmicky kind of solutions that aren't really solving people's problems too much, the better we all are actually because of it.
Absolutely. And so the same
and
way,
we're saying that as people who run a crypto company that literally facilitates a sale of JPEGs. Like, that's because we're realistic though. Like this is a technology. Like we are not stopping with just making NFTs. We're going much further than that in the future. And so like, this is just our stepping stone. Next stepping stone is not going to look anything like the previous.
Absolutely. I mean, our company is so different now that we changed names. So
yeah.
So different now. See, we're not a credit card company. We're not.
Oh God. God, that was, I don't know what the hell possessed me. I don't know what the hell possessed me to use Ramp. I don't know, man.
I still remember the conversation. I still remember you're like, oh, it sounded like a good name. And I just add another P because the original one was taken. And then we go to YC and any of these other freaking companies. And we're like, oh, Ramper, Rampay, Rampant, Ramp. Like, it's just like, all right.
There's nothing to say about those companies. It's just the name thing. There's like 50 companies in crypto that have Ramp in their name because it makes sense because you want to ramp people up. I get it. We're all on the same line of thought, but holy hell, like everyone's got to change names. The ramp name should now be forbidden. Ramp in your company name should be forbidden.
You know what? Gosh, Tim, as you're saying that, I realized we missed out on a really big opportunity recently.
Why? What did we miss?
So remember for crypto and blockchain and NFT companies, we all use the .xyz,
Yeah.
Like kind of like the .com, the ending here
.io,
for domains.
.io, yeah, for
.io,
like games and stuff. Like, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
It's the .ai boom again, dude. We missed it. We should have.
Wait, that's a domain. That's a top level domain. Is .ai?
Yeah, .ai.
Oh my God, dude! Remember domain squatters are gonna go. Dude. Yeah, dude. Domain squatters are gonna go nuts.
Dude, I remember because I was joking with you. I was like, oh, hey Tim, we should be Mintplex.ai.
Yeah.
We should be.
I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna vomit.
Ramp.ai. Dude,
I'm gonna vomit.
I'm telling you right now. Greenfield. There's gonna be so many people looking for .ai domains now. It's gonna be. I just realized as you were saying that, I was like, I completely forgot, dude. We missed out. Could have been our additional revenue stream, Tim.
Dude, I was actually going to go look up .ai names while we were on this call, just to go see what the hell is out there. Because you said Greenfield.ai, and I bet that's a really good name. But that's a single word, and I can guarantee, dude, there was like that project that I had, Dino Domains, that would I had to deal with domain squatters, which I understand buying domains as an investment, quote unquote, whatever. I don't care. I don't necessarily agree with your lifestyle, but I understand that it makes money. So whatever. Okay. Domain squatters are some of them are the worst people to interact with on the internet, full stop. It's rent seeking. That's why all of their behavior is rent seeking. It's like, hey, you have a great business. I bought that domain name in 1996. You just raised money. Give me $10 million. And it's like, go fuck yourself. That's all I have to say to this. I will go out of my way to never pay a domain squatter in my life. But I just got an email. This is I don't even know if this will fit in the podcast. I just got the weirdest email that was like, hey, Timothy, great to know that you published a paper on evaluating and modeling force sensing resistors for low force applications. And then they tried to sell me a VC lead gen pipeline. It was like, oh, we can get you in front of venture capitalists to sell my research paper I did in my undergrad. What the how'd they even find that? I can't even find my own research paper.
Well, I mean, there you go. They, maybe you ask them. Maybe
I might just email them and be like, can you send me a copy of my paper, please? I'll put it on IPFS. There we go.
There you go. That's how we link it to the podcast. Just random emails regarding old projects.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, man.
What the hell? Okay, that's going straight to trash.
Dude,
that was to the Mintplex. That was to my Mintplex email. How the hell do you even relate those two? Yeah, that was to my Mintplex email, not my personal.
It's at this point, I don't think we need more VC conversations.
Well,
oh my god!
I don't think we could. Just to VCs that might listen to the podcast. We are not only are we not going into AI, we are not also going to build a company around a paper I wrote for my undergrad. So
I don't know, dude. Maybe you want to go to
for my mechanical engineering undergrad. Yeah, we're going to full pivot from crypto to something that 21-year-old Tim was working on. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, maybe we're just flipping GPUs now, brother.
Yeah, we're in the GPU flipping business.
When it's because we already know that this cycle is never going to stop now. Now that AI has been open to the floodgates and consumerized and accessible. And then now that blockchain, especially stuff that we're building, has made, NFTs, smart contracts accessible, like the next 5-6 years is just going to be that constant iterative process, man. Yep. And so, if we buy GPUs, like when it's the crypto boom again, we just start mining. And then when it's AI boom, we just turn on the GPU farming for people who want to run data models. Get a few Lambda vector machines, throw them in a warehouse. Boom, baby. Money. When it's AI related, we throw it under Congress Stock Watcher. When it's Mintplex related, we throw it under.
We're just in the GPU moving business. That's how we're at. We're just going to move into the GPU leasing business because apparently that is the most profitable of them all.
I mean, hey man, it's physical stuff. All the things that we're working with is all vaporware. Typically at the end of the day.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. Just investors out there watching this, we're just joking. Okay, we're
I think grinding. They know that it's not vaporware because we have actual users. So if we didn't have any users, I think that would be a reasonable reaction.
Yeah. If we didn't work, I think that would be work on all this stuff. 24 hours a day. I think that'd be the issue. So
yeah, I'm working on it like 26 hours a day at this point.
It's okay, man. That's what AI is for. We can model another Tim. And then, we'll have him tweet every day. So
that would be absolute degeneracy. I would not recommend that.
I don't know. Did you have 20,000 tweets now? I think I could run a Tim bot,
If I have 20,000 tweets, I need to delete my Twitter.
All right. Here, folks. Let me see. How many tweets?
How do you even see how many tweets somebody has?
3,864 tweets. All right. You're okay.
Okay. I'm about to say, if I have 20,000 tweets and I only have 2,000 followers, I must be saying some really, really just boring shit.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But the amount of people that asked you to mentor them, that's a pretty steep number.
I am not mentoring anybody. If you're watching this, I don't have the bandwidth. It's not that I don't care about you or your success. It's that I just straight up don't have the bandwidth.
No. Tim just hates you. Tim just hates you. Okay. Yeah, he wants nothing to do with you. The only two things he wants to TLC, tender love and care, is his projects and his startups. Okay, he doesn't have a space for mentoring.
It's true. Right?
You want mentorship? Ask ChatGPT.
Yeah. If you want mentorship, answer these questions as Tim. There you go.
Yeah. You just ask ChatGPT. You say, pretend you're Timothy Carambat, and answer my next few questions.
Yeah.
Tim, can you mentor me? No.
It's been trained well. The data set is very fine-tuned. Very fine-tuned.
Exactly. Anyways, Tim, with that, anything else we want to, especially on the Mintplex end, we want to let any of our listeners know? I know actually quite a number of our users actually watch this. Surprisingly, surprises me too.
Thank you.
So thank you for sticking around and hanging out with us here. But is there any big updates, anything big that's coming up as we go into the end of the year here, into Q1?
So Alpha. This month we will be fully subscription model. People have been benefiting from a very long time from Mintplex Pro being a one-time payment. That will technically still be the case, except we'll be out now issuing you an NFT that you can go trade anywhere else if you want. But that NFT has an expiration date. You can extend your ownership of it at any time before it expires. We'll email you. You don't have to worry about any of that part, but it will be now on a kind of monthly model where when you go to purchase Pro, you can purchase 3, 6, 10, 12 months or even more. If you want it unlimited, sorry, you should have bought a flight pass. So that's all I got to say for that one. So
gonna have to ask someone, we're gonna have to ask someone in these marketplaces for a flight pass.
Yeah, sorry. That's what it was. If you missed out on the flight pass mint, then you missed out. So can't tell you anything else. But that'll be done this month. That'll be live probably by the end of the month. Other stuff that I think is going to be coming around the corner is we are going to be working on our metadata manager. So you will no longer have to mess with. We've had this happen now 12 times at least this month, where someone was like, I made a typo in my metadata, or this attribute, I actually put it on the wrong token, and they have to go and redo their entire metadata folder. That is such a nightmare. we're going to provide an easy interface where you can just go and edit those things on the fly. Super simple. Like, don't even have to worry about it. And it will be decentralizable. You can just click a button, the whole thing will get pushed to IPFS and you're done. End of story.
Yes. So all of y'all who've been asking for dynamic NFTs,
this is the way to do it.
Shut the fuck up. And we're doing it for you guys now. Okay. All right.
Oh my
Stop
God.
messaging me on Telegram asking for this stuff. Stop messaging me on Twitter. It's happening.
We have heard it 1,000 times now. The ticket has been logged and we are working on it. I understand it's a great need and we cannot build it fast enough, but we are building it.
Also, you know who you are, but like all the rest of y'all that I tell that to, I love you. So, but like the ones who keep annoying me about it, especially the ones in Discord, I know who you are. All right, stop. Like, it's happening. We're gonna get all this stuff out there. You're gonna love it.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
We're still cranking away on stuff. We're not coasting. We have been building every single day. And then lastly, small thing is you'll be able to use Mintplex on mobile to monitor your projects on the go. And that'll be great because the wallet experience on mobile is an absolute disaster. Everybody who uses a mobile wallet knows that this is the case. So we're going to have a wallet agnostic way of you being able to, not have to sit at your desktop wondering what's going on with your mint or wondering who's selling your stuff or, you got to edit your website or whatever. We will provide you a mobile interface so you can go on about your merry day and not have to worry about coming back to your computer or lugging around your laptop to stay on top of your mint. So that'll be a really nice value add for people. That'll probably be coming later in the beginning of next year. Yeah. So
hey, we out here still building. Okay, there's so much to do. Like I said, more tutorials, updates on our website as well coming in Q1. Yeah, we're just, we're trying to chill a little bit, guys. It's the holidays, we're trying to stay happy, healthy, and, keep things going. And once we get into 2023, it's all business as usual. So, anyways, with that, Mr. Timothy Karambat, thank you so much, as always, for your time. And thank you all for listening. And we will see you all in the next episode. The next one will be a Christmas special. Next one will be Christmas.
Okay. Next one's Christmas special. Got it.
Tim and I will wear like Christmas, sweaters or whatever. Really make it festive.
I think I have a hat.
Dude,
I'm not a festive person. I'm not a festive person.
All right. Well, you have to have one for this Saturday anyway. So
yeah, I know, which is why I'm hoping I can find it.
Okay. Well, also, Christmas gear. I expect full red. I expect a full red suit.
I don't even own a single piece of Christmas attire. I think all I have is my hat. If I show up in my hat, that's my maximum effort. I promise.
All right. Well, not on you, sir. Well, anyways, we'll talk to y'all in the next episode. Have a great week. And hopefully we're all still here post the crypto winter.